What's up, otakus? This is a completely different video from what I normally do. Normally, I talk comics, uh, and I talk comic calls, but I just I wanted to get on, and this is really something that I kind of wanted to just look at. I wanted to look at the stats and the numbers and do a quantitative analysis of um, NBA players to determine really who the sort of the best player, the greatest of all time player is. Now, hopefully, after watching this video, you'll have a bit of better understanding of like um, career stats, kind of what players achieved, where their strengths were, where their weaknesses were are. So we're just kind of going to go do a thorough run through, looking at player stats, and I'm going to let you know where you can kind of download this information or get this information. But um, I kind of worked with the data, but in terms of um, giving a player the final score, so we're going to weight scores based on this, just the stats, looking at the pure what they do on the floor, right? What you can do on a hey Miss So what's up? I'm not sure if you're going to enjoy this video. This is sort of sports talk, but this is more, just again, I'm curious. I have my thoughts on who the best player of all time is, the greatest of all time is, and I do not think that player is Michael Jordan. Like, and I'm in the minority um, in that opinion, and I will back my opinion up by saying I grew up watching Jordan play. I'm not. I mean, I turn 50 next year. Okay, so I'm not young by any means. When Jordan came into the league, I was in elementary school. Um, and by the time he won his last NBA title, I had graduated. Yeah, I had graduated college. Um, I was a year out of college by the time he won his last NBA title. And by the time he retired, I was um, already into my career. So I watched Jordan play. I've watched a lot of these players on this list play, um, and I've watched LeBron play. Obviously, LeBron came into the league more recently, but he's amassed an incredible career. So I'm not going to reveal who I think the greatest of all time is, uh, but I maybe toward the end I will. But just know we're kind of going to look at the data together, and looking at the data might not change your opinion because a lot of people out there just automatically, Michael Jordan's the greatest. I watched him play. It's not about stats. It's about, you know, all the accolades that it's more qualitative for people, right? People argue Jordan played uh, at the highest level of competition in the NBA. Um, and a lot of people argue, he innovated the game. A lot of people argue he's more efficient on the court in terms of his efficiency. Um, and they argue he's just a more balanced player. He's a leader. All these like character, they use like, championship. They look at the six rings. They use that championship kind of vocabulary in describing his career. Leader, champion, uh, you know, plays through everything. Um, Plays through like pain or whatever, like Jordan with the flu, that the game where he fought through the flu symptoms and, ended up helping his team win. So, um, you know, we're not putting any of those qualitative uh, details in this analysis. It's purely numbers, it's purely quantitative. So I don't know if I'm going to necessarily convince people to think otherwise, because I think a lot of people have made up their minds. But I will add that Jordan played when the because of Jordan, the NBA, in terms of marketing, in terms of its growth, was just absolutely. Um, I mean, it was a whirlwind of growth and profitability for the league. Um, Michael Jordan single-handedly made the NBA relevant, made the NBA tops in terms of revenue, marketing revenue, uh, and just people were tuned in. Everybody on the planet was tuned in. It wasn't just the United States. It was like a global phenomenon. So what he did for the game, that is undeniable. And you could strongly make an argument that his what he did for the league gives him the clout of greatest of all time, because no other player has had that kind of impact on the NBA and on the game of basketball, or any professional sport for that matter, right? Maybe Lionel Messi now, maybe. Um, I mean, Lionel Messi is the only player you could have in that conversation where their performance and like global reach in terms of like who's watching and who's interested in tuning into a sport because of that one player. I mean, Lionel Messi is a great example. He comes to the United States and he's making a huge splash right here in the MLS. So there are very few players that can kind of create that kind of mania. Um, but Michael Jordan is definitely one of them. So again, this is not a qualitative argument. You can make all the qualitative arguments you want in the comments, but they're not going to really help in this quantitative analysis. And we're really looking at statistics. We're really looking at weighting scores across every category of stats. Um, and um, we're even going to give Jordan an advantage. We're going to weight Jordan's stats where he leads. We're going to weight those stronger to just prove a point. Okay. So let's take a look at the stats. Now, I realize this, when I put this out there, it's going to probably get a lot of people chiming in. Oh, you're so wrong and whatnot. Again, I'm not putting any opinion out here, but we're going to take a look at how we're going to weight the scores. Um, Basically, we're not even going to do games played. I don't know why that's in there. So what we're going to do is we're eventually going to weight the number of rings, which I have right here. Okay. And I'll get to what these top 10 players mean in just a moment. We're going to weight points per minute, field goals made, field goal percentage, 3-pointers made, 3-point percentage, free throws made, free throw percentage, rebounds per minute, assists per minute, steals per minute, blocks per minute, turnovers per minute. This is an efficiency field. Oh, I forget what this acronym is, but it's a efficiency field goal, I believe. And this is the true shooting percentage. We'll get into what those mean, and then a total score. So the true shooting percentage takes into account like 3-point percentage, free throw percentage, and field goal percentage, and kind of it gives you a sort of a more rounded, more balanced, and more accurate view of a player's shooting percentage. Kind of adds that. So these are both, and I think this is like has to do with efficiency. But we'll get into these percentages as they come up. All right, so there's a lot to measure there. Notice it's not just points, it's not just rebounds, it's not just assists. It's a balanced view, because I think if you're going to weight the greatest player, you don't just want the greatest scorer, which, MJ and LeBron arguably are. We're bringing more, we're adding more weight, we're giving other players a chance to represent themselves. Now, I've already weighted the score for rings. Rings get a point. So if you have more rings, you get more points. So as you can see, if we're just to filter this right here, if we're just to weight rings, Jordan and Jabbar are at the top, followed by Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, LeBron James, Shaquille, and so on. Okay, so we'll get into this. So first off, we're going to take a look at the regular season stats, and this is available at NBA.com. If you go to NBA.com and you pick up, say like all-time great, all-time player stats, they start with scoring. So this is essentially what you see here, 1 through 10, right? These are, actually, that's not it. Let's go through, or just the smallest. Sorry. Points. So if you go 1 through 10 in terms of points, that's who we have here. Okay. These are the top 10 regular season points leaders, just purely points. And as you can see, if we're doing the top 5 point leaders, I marked them in green. So everything here, you can see there's a lot of green on this chart. And all this means is I'm taking the top 5 in that statistical category and marking it in green. Okay, so we have points. LeBron James leads all players in total career points, followed by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Karl Malone, Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jordan. Okay, just points. We're going to look at now points per minute. This is going to not just reflect points, total points. It's going to reflect scoring efficiency. Okay, how many points a player scores a minute. And if you look here, Jordan has the highest scoring efficiency at 0.7874 points per minute, followed by George Gervin, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, and LeBron James. Okay. And then we go field goal percentage. Shaquille O'Neal has the highest field goal percentage, followed by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, followed by Charles Barkley, followed by Adrian Dantley, followed by Will Chamberlain. Makes sense. Big guys are right under the basket. They often shoot right under the basket, so their shooting percentages are going to be higher. They're not shooting from 3-point. So conversely, if you look at their 3-pointers made, they're probably going to be nowhere to be found. Now, the older players, they didn't keep 3-point statistics. They didn't keep certain statistics like steals and blocks per game and all that. So unfortunately, the older players, there's just a lack of data on their statistics. But if you look at the modern era, 3-pointers, obviously Stephen Curry, Ray Allen, James Harden, Reggie Miller, Vince Carter, these are the career leaders in 3-pointers made. 3-point percentage, Steph Curry, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Mitch Richmond, Kevin Durant. Okay. And again, these are just, I marked them all in green, but we're going to go through them just to kind of show you the logic of how this quantitative analysis is going to proceed. Free throw percentage, Steph Curry, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Larry Bird, Kevin Durant. Notice LeBron James, Michael Jordan, nowhere. Michael Jordan's higher, 83%. LeBron James is much lower. He's here at 73.5%. Okay, so again, just marking in green the top five in each statistical category. And then we're going to go rebounds. Top rebounder, Will Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Elvin Hayes, Moses Malone, Tim Duncan. Okay. Oh, actually, yeah. And then rebounds per minute. I'll even mark that in green here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mark it in green. It's Will Chamberlain, Bob Pettit, Walt Bellamy, Moses Malone, Elgin Baylor, and Elvin Hayes. Assists. We've got Chris Paul, LeBron James, Oscar Robinson, and Russell Westbrook, and Gary Payton, one of my favorite players of all time. Assists per minute. Got to mark this in green. We've got Chris Paul. Again, we looked at totals and then we looked at efficiency. Assists per minute. We've got Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, Oscar Robertson, James Harden, and LeBron James is there. Assists per minute. What do you know? Steals. We have Michael Jordan, Gary Payton, Clyde Drexler, LeBron James, and Clyde Drexler. So Chris Paul, Michael Jordan, Gary Payton, Clyde Drexler, LeBron James. Okay, steals per game. Steals per minute. We have Chris Paul, Clyde Drexler, Allen Iverson, Gary Payton, and Hakeem Olajuwon. No, who's that? Gary Payton. So we have, Michael Jordan. I left Michael Jordan off. Michael Jordan, Chris Paul, Clyde Drexler, Allen Iverson, Gary Payton. So Michael Jordan is the top steals per minute. He has the highest steals efficiency in the game. Okay. And then we have blocks, which is Hakeem, Kareem, Tim, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing. Blocks per minute, Hakeem, David, Patrick, Shaquille, Tim. Turnovers, LeBron is first, then followed by Karl Malone, Russell Westbrook, Kobe Bryant, and Moses Malone. Whoa, you would think Moses Malone is on the top turnovers per game, or top turnovers, career turnovers. Turnovers per minute. This one we want to look at lowest. We should have looked at, I got to do this over. We don't want to look at largest to smallest. Take these green out to no fill. We want to look at lowest to highest. So, I mean, this obviously has a lot to do with points as well. So we're looking at the top 50 players, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the fewest turnovers in the game. And then also related to that, smallest to largest, turnovers per minute. Havlicek, Elvin Hayes, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LaMarcus Aldridge, Anton Jameson. Okay. And then we're going to look at EFG, field goal percentage, largest to smallest. Steph Curry, Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, Kevin Durant, and then true shooting percentage. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Adrian Dantley, Reggie Miller, Charles Barkley. Okay, so again, these are the top 50 players based on points. Okay, because I think it's right to weight points um, stronger than other statistics, right? It's sort of um, it's the flashy statistic, right? It's the sexy statistic everybody looks at. So that's what this 50 list is based off of anyway. We got the top 50 scores in NBA history right here. Okay. And based on this list, where, these are the top 10 right here. Okay. LeBron, Kareem, Karl Malone, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Dirk, Wilt Chamberlain, Shaquille, Carmelo Anthony, Moses Malone. Okay. Now these are regular season statistics. They're separate. Okay. They're separate from playoff statistics. So when we look at playoff statistics, and these are supplemental. So if you want to look at total career, you got to combine the regular season plus the playoffs. But we're just looking at playoff statistics now. Okay. And essentially, we're going to look at points. Okay. This is the first category here. And we've got the two guys. Okay, so um, a qualitative argument a lot of people make for the greatest of all time is, of course, the number of rings, the number of playoff appearances, the number of championships, the number of, just you stepping up in the playoffs, right? You can have good regular season stats, but your playoff stats should be much higher. You should be more productive in the playoffs. Um, and so a lot of weight is given to clutch performances in the playoffs. Okay. Do you have the heart of a champion and all that? So we are going to take a look now at the playoff statistics, which I think hold a lot of value. And we're actually going to and that's what this list is. So we're taking the people with the highest playoff point totals. And here they are. Okay. We got LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Duncan, Kevin Durant, Karl Malone, Jerry West, and Tony Parker. These are the top 10 playoff points leaders. Okay. When we get into scoring efficiency, Michael Jordan leads with 0.8 points per minute, followed by Durant, followed by Steph Curry, followed by Jerry West, followed by LeBron James. So in terms of scoring efficiency, Jordan leads the pack, as does, he's second in terms of total points as well. Okay, so let's go back here. He's first in points per minute. He's second in terms of overall points. Okay, so let's look at field goals made here. Again, we're looking at the whole career, not just. So Michael Jordan's third on this list. Kobe Bryant's fifth. Shaq has more points than him. LeBron James is at the top. Field goal percentage. Okay, this is where you want to compare who has a higher field goal percentage in the playoffs, okay? It's Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin McHale, James Worthy, Kareem, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James aren't even in the top 10, okay? But let's compare them, though. We're going to go back to points. LeBron James leads Michael Jordan in terms of field goal percentage in the playoffs, 49.5 to 48.7. Okay. I'm sure that's going to surprise a lot of people. You'd think, oh, Jordan's the better shooter, right? Not so. LeBron has the higher field goal percentage. LeBron has more points in the paint, okay? But that's the player LeBron is, okay? So higher field goal percentage. Well, you'd think then with the same argument, oh, Michael Jordan has a higher three point percentage. Well, just by a tenth of a percent. LeBron's 33.1, Michael's 33.2. Okay. But in terms of overall best three-pointer percentage, Klay Thompson, Kawhi Leonard, Ray Allen, Steph Curry, Byron Scott. These are the guys with the highest three-point percentages in their playoff careers. And also, let's just look at three-pointers made. You've got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, LeBron James, Ray Allen, Kevin Durant. So Michael Jordan isn't even in the three-point debate. He has nowhere near the top 20 three-pointers made as these other players. And yeah, for all the people who think LeBron is a bad three-point shooter, well, statistics do not paint that picture. He's among the top in terms of three-point percentages. Okay, sorry, he's among the top in three-pointers made. Go back to here. He's among the top in three-pointers made, and he has a higher three-point percentage than Jordan. Okay, so that's probably something a lot of people they don't. The Jordan lovers aren't going to dwell on that stat, but three-pointers are a big part of the game. Okay. Free throws. Okay, let's take a look at free throws made. LeBron James leads all players in terms of free throws points made. It's followed by Michael Jordan, followed by Kobe Bryant. Another big part of the game. It controls this facet of the game, getting people in foul trouble, getting to the line, right? It's the mark of a great basketball player. Well, based on free throws made, LeBron James leads everybody by a mile. But in terms of percentage, not the case. But at the same time, Jordan isn't among the tops either. But Jordan is higher than, so going back to here, we're comparing Jordan and LeBron, which a lot of people are these days. Jordan has an 82.8% free throw percentage compared to 74.1. That's pretty horrible for it's horrible for a shooting guard, but for, let's face it, LeBron plays small forward, power forward. I would say it's decent for power forward, maybe not as decent for small forward, but it's around the average, I guess. All right, so we're now looking at rebounds. And, Michael and LeBron aren't going to be anywhere near the top 10 in this list. So if we're looking at rebounds per minute, let's get total rebounds first. Total rebounds, the top 5 are Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Tim Duncan. Oh, LeBron is in the top 5. Well, what do you know? And Shaquille O'Neal. What do you know? Rebounds per minute. Efficiency, rebounding efficiency. Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Bob Pettit, Charles Barkley, Elgin Baylor are the top 5. Okay, but if we go back to just comparing LeBron and Michael, LeBron has 2,549 rebounds to Michael's 1,152 rebounds, He has a rebounding efficiency of 0.21 rebounds per minute compared to Michael Jordan's 0.15 rebounds per minute. Okay, so stark difference there. Assists. Just comparing Michael and LeBron, LeBron has twice as many assists as Michael Jordan. His assists per minute is 1.17 compared to Michael's 0.13. So LeBron's the better rebounder. LeBron's the better passer. LeBron's the better 3-point shooter. Okay. These are the stats. Stats don't, and these are playoff stats. These aren't even regular season stats. These are playoff stats. Steals is where we get a little, LeBron has more steals. Michael Jordan, 471 to 376. But when you look at steals per minute, Jordan has 0.05 steals per minute compared to LeBron 0.04. So Jordan has better steals efficiency. He's probably the better stealer. LeBron just has more games on Michael Jordan. But I mean, in the playoffs, to have almost 100 steal differential just tells you. I mean, look. Let's go back to playoff games, okay? So if we go back to LeBron, just has more playoff games. He has 282 playoff games compared to 179 playoff games for Michael Jordan. Okay. You can make that of it as you will, but LeBron's been in more clutch performances and scenarios than Jordan has. That's a fact. You can't deny that. And to say LeBron's had better team support, the Bulls. talk about one of the greatest teams. The Bulls are arguably probably the greatest team franchises in sports history. So Jordan did have a great team. Did he have a great team for the first 10 years of his career? No, probably not. LeBron definitely didn't have a great team starting out with the Cavs either, but he got to the playoffs faster than Michael, and he had just more impact on his teams, right? He played for the Lakers, the Cavs, and the Heat. So he's won rings with 3 teams. Okay, just keep that in mind. Now we're going to look at blocks. So we looked at steals. Again, almost twice as many blocks LeBron has. That goes back to having just more playoff games, right? But when we look at blocks per minute, he has that more efficient blocker as well. He's at 0.23 blocks per minute compared to 0.21 blocks per minute for Jordan. Now, obviously, they're not nowhere near the top of the blocks list. Jordan is in the top 5 of the steals per minute. But yeah, these categories are like blocks per minute, assists per minute. They're not really in the top in those categories. All right, turnovers. So LeBron James tops everybody in terms of turnovers. And Michael Jordan is pretty low on the list. So in terms of like steals to turnover ratio, if we're to compare that, Michael is what? He's 11th on the turnover list, whereas LeBron is first. LeBron averages 0.08 turnovers per minute. So let's get turnovers efficiency. So the worst turnover efficiencies are Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Magic Johnson, Steph Curry, Isaiah Thomas, then LeBron, and then we go down here. Michael Jordan is pretty good with the turnovers didn't turn the ball over. I mean, I guess if being leading his team to all those championships, you wouldn't expect Jordan to be. He's 21st on turnover efficiency, um, so that's pretty good. And then we're going to just look at EF field goal percentage and the TS field goal percentage. And as you can see, LeBron is what, sixth on the list, seventh on the list in terms of over efficiency field goal, and then true field goal. We got LeBron is 11th on the list, whereas Michael Jordan is 21st on the list. So I think what I hope this has shown you is LeBron is the better shooter in terms of shooting percentages, not free throw percentage, obviously, but we're talking about 3-point, field goal, and all these efficiency field goal percentages. So um, LeBron's the better shooter, but he's not among the top in terms of shooting. But again, if we're doing like just a statistical comparison of the two players in that GOAT debate, this is what we have. Okay. So what are we going to do with these stats? This is a combination of regular season plus playoffs. Okay. So obviously, because the regular seasons, you have more games. It's going to lean toward regular season, but really that's when we're talking about career GOAT from a quantitative statistical analysis. We don't just want to weight playoff performances. We want to weight overall statistics. So these are the overall games played, minutes, points, points per minute, field goals made, field goal percentage, 3-pointers made, 3-point percentage, and all that. So essentially when we're taking our quantitative score, we're going to weight all these scores. And for EFG and true shooting percentage, I took the percentages from the playoffs because these kinds of shooting percentages matter more in the playoffs. So we're using the playoff percentages for those. But for the regular field goal percentage, we're using regular season plus playoffs. And how we landed on these 9 players is these are the top 9 scorers in NBA playoff history. Okay, that's how we're weighting. Now, Jerry West is automatically at a disadvantage because he does not have 3-point percentage stats or 3-pointers made stats or turnovers or turnover stats as well. They just didn't have those statistics during they didn't keep them. They didn't keep the statistics during his time. So he's at a disadvantage here. He's going to get low weight scores in those categories just because we just don't know where he stands. So if you think Jerry West is, I mean, maybe you've watched Jerry West play and you think, he's the greatest. And even with his one player championship, I think Jerry West is a great general manager, but he's, again, for our debates, for this kind of comparison, we're really talking about the modern players here, okay? Because we're talking about career points plus, the top playoff scorers, the top 9 playoff scorers in NBA history. So we're comparing these 9 players among the GOAT debate. Because, again, a lot of the argument for Jordan being the greatest of all time, again, is his playoff performances. So we're weighting playoff scoring to come up with our list of 9 players. Then we're going to compare these 9 players' overall career stats as well. Okay, and that's where we're gonna wait. So I'm already telling you, we've given Jordan uh, some advantages here because first of all looking only at the top playoff performances. We're also weighting rings, number of rings, and we're looking at both points and points per minute, okay, efficiencies. So Jordan's tops in those, and um, he's gonna weight that. We're gonna go further. We're gonna give points and points per minute. Okay, we're gonna give points and points per. Actually, we don't even need to do that. We've weighted scoring so highly with just field goal. Uh, well, actually, okay. So what we'll do is we'll give scoring an additional weight. What we'll do is we'll do points and points per minute. We'll give it double the score. So notice. Let me just show you what my thinking is here. So when we compare top points, largest to smallest, that gives us a ranking here. Okay. So for total points, LeBron's going to get a score of 9. Sorry, a score of 18, which is 2 times 9. Kareem's going to get a score of 16, 2 times 8. Karl Malone's going to get a score of, uh, actually, no, that's not helping Jordan out. We're just going to keep this weighted at 9 through 1. So Jerry West is going to get a 1 for this. LeBron's going to get a 9. Jordan's going to score here 9, 7, 8. Sorry, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Jordan's going to get a 5. Okay. What we'll do is here, points per minute. This is where Jordan, I think, leads the pack. We'll give this a weighted score of 2 times. Okay. So Jordan's going to get a score of 18 here. Kevin Durant's going to get a score of 16 and so on. So we're weighting Jordan's statistical advantage. We're giving that more weight in the total score. Okay. Just so you know, we're basically giving him 2 times a specific category. And let's see if he leads steals as well. Yeah, he does lead steals and steal efficiency. We'll weight those stronger as well. Okay, we'll give steals and steals per minute. These are 2 statistical categories that Jordan leads. We're even going to weight that 2 times. Okay, we're going to combine all the scores and come out with a player who has the highest score. Okay, so we're giving Jordan a quantitative statistical advantage in this analysis. And I don't know how it's going to turn out, but 2 times as 3 categories should put you on top of the total quantitative score. Okay. So we're going to just map out all of this right now and come up with a total score for each player across all the statistical categories. But we're weighting the stats that he leads, we're weighting those stronger. Okay, so let's do it. All right, so we're going to start here with points. So LeBron is going to get a 9. Go back to, let's see here. What do we have originally? Let's see here. I guess I gotta just insert these. Oh, wait. Yeah. All right, so for points, LeBron gets a 9. Who else? Kareem gets an 8. Karl gets a 7. Kobe gets a 6. Michael gets a 5. Shaquille gets a 4. Kevin gets a 3. Tim gets a 2. I'm just going to take Jerry West out of this equation because let's just compare the top 8. I mean, ultimately, GOAT debates should just be limited to 3-4 people anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's going to make this entire process. So having said that, let's redo this. It's going to be 1, 2, it's going to be 8, up to 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're just going to do the top 8 players. So I'm just going to remove Jerry West. Okay. So let's go on to points per minute now. This is scoring efficiency, and Jordan leads this. So we're going to give Jordan 2 times 8, which is 16. Just based on that fact alone, the fact that he has 16 points now puts him at the top, I believe. Unless Kareem is high on there as well. Kevin Durant gets 14. LeBron James gets 12. Kobe Bryant gets a 10. Shaquille gets an 8. Kareem gets 6. That's surprising. Let's see here. Carl gets a 4. And Tim gets a 2. Okay. So Jordan's leading the pack in terms of scoring. Yeah, he's leading the pack. Well, it's close. LeBron and Jordan are kind of close. Jordan is still leading. Okay, field goals made. We've got Kareem. He's going to get an 8. And then we've got LeBron. He's going to get a 7. Oh, Carl's going to get a 6. Jordan's going to get a 5. Kobe's going to get a 4. Shaquille's going to get a 3. Kevin Durant's going to get... Tim Duncan is going to get a 2. And then Kevin Durant's going to get a 1. Okay. Jordan is not in the lead anymore. So hopefully Jordan can make up when we get the steals per minute. Oh, that's another thing. We're not weighting total rebounds, assists, and steals either. We're going to base that off of efficiency. Okay. Um, and this gives Jordan an advantage. Okay. We're giving Jordan advantages by not looking at total rebounds. We're looking at rebounds per minute. So we're truly looking at what they're doing on the court in terms of efficiency here. Um, that's I feel like we do have to put in the totals in as well. Now let's just do it on efficiencies, because I think if we do the totals, we know Michael Jordan's not gonna he's not gonna he's not gonna have an advantage, right? Because we already compared that LeBron James has more rebounds, assists, steals, um, and more turnovers. It just leads the entire pack in those categories. Um, we already established he leads those, so we're going to really look at just efficiency and give players based off their scores off their efficiency. So um, this should point to Jordan being uh, having the highest score. Okay. Um, so we're going to look at field goal percentage now. Shaquille gets the 8 here. Kareem gets the 7. Carl gets the 6. We got Tim gets the 5. LeBron gets the 4. Michael gets the 3. Every point counts here. It's close. Kevin gets the 2. Oops. And Kobe gets the 1. Okay. 3-pointers made. LeBron gets the 8. I guess it doesn't make sense to do 3-pointers made. We'll do just 3-pointer point efficiency, right? Same logic there in terms of. I mean, when we're looking at field goals made, that counts. But in terms of 3-pointers, I feel like that's a redundant. We just look at 3-point efficiency, right? That should paint an accurate picture. Or 3-point percentage. 3-point percentage. So we're going to look at, we're taking out 3-pointers made. We're just going to look at 3-point percentage. And maybe we won't weight the 2 shooting statistics as well. Well, no, that's overall scoring efficiency. So if Jordan's a true shooter and has a good pre, I mean, this would all boost his stats anyway. So 3-point percentage, Kevin Durant gets an 8. Followed by LeBron James. Again, I don't know the outcome of this will be. This is just sort of like what I think paints a quantitative view of playoff performance combined with career stats. Now, mind you, this is playoff plus regular season 3-point percentage. So it's the whole career. This is what they shot their entire career. Kobe Bryant is 6. Michael Jordan's 5. This is just percentage. Karl Malone's 4. I'm going to assume Kareem is number 1. He is. Followed by Shaquille O'Neal, 2, and then that leaves Tim at 3. Okay, so the big guys. All right, now we're looking at free throws made. This is an important statistic. Again, free throws made tells you how frequently they're getting to the line over the career, right? So Karl Malone's tops there, 8, followed by LeBron, 7, followed by Kobe, 6, followed by Michael, 5, followed by Kevin, 3, 2, 1. Kareem, Tim, Shaq. Okay, now free throw percentage. Kevin Durant gets an 8, followed by Michael Jordan, 7, followed by Kobe Bryant, 6, followed by Karl Malone, 5, followed by LeBron James, 4, followed by Kareem, Tim, and Shaq. Wait, where's Kobe? I messed up here. I gotta go back. So free throw percentage, it's 7, 8, 6. Kobe 6. Why did I put Kareem there? 6. So this is 3, 2. Shaquille is 1. Okay, now we're doing rebounds efficiency, rebounds per minute over the entire career, not just playoffs. This is playoffs and regular season combined. All of these stats reflect that, okay? So rebounds per minute over their entire career. This is rebounding efficiency. Tim Duncan's number 1. So he gets an 8. Shaquille gets a 7. Kareem gets a 6. Karl gets a 5. To be expected. All big guys. LeBron gets the 4. Followed by Durant, 3. Then Jordan, 2. And then Kobe gets his last 1. Okay. Assist efficiency. We got LeBron with the 8. Then Michael Jordan, 7. Then Kobe Bryant, 6. and Kevin Durant. 5. Then Kareem, Carl, Tim, Shaq. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Steals per minute. Now this one, we're doubling the score. We're going to give Jordan the advantage here. Steals per minute because he leads this category. This is just to make a point, right? Because a lot of people think he's the greatest of all time. So we're just giving him that advantage. It's going to be Michael with 16. That may be enough to carry him over, actually. Then we have LeBron with 14. Then we got Kobe at 12. We got Carl at 10. This is where it hurts you if you're not a good stealer. Kevin at 8. Shaquille O'Neal Tim Duncan at 6. Kareem at 4, and then Shaq at 2. Okay. Blocks per minute. We've got Shaquille, Tim, Kareem. Shaquille gets a 16. Gets a 8. 7. And then Kareem, 6. And then we have Kevin, Michael, Carl. 5, 4, 3. Kevin, Michael, Carl. 5, 4, 3. And then 2. Kobe is last. Okay. Turnovers. And this one we want to look at lowest to highest turnovers per minute. So Kareem is going to be tops here at Kareem is 8. Tim is 7. Okay. Then Michael, 6. And Shaquille and Carl, 5, 4. Then Kobe, Kevin, LeBron, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Those ones really hurt you in this scoring. If you're last in any category, it's because we're looking at balance, right? We want balance to get an overall good score. So anything where you're leading is going to help you, but also where you're not leading is going to hurt you. So there's a 1 here for LeBron. There's a 2 here for Jordan. It's pretty, you won't know till the end, I guess. All right, so these scoring percentages should help out. Again, these are looking at true shooting percentage. So overall, like how efficient and effective a scorer they are. These are percentages. So, let's just see if comparing all of these is going to hurt Jordan. If so, we'll take one of them out just for the argument's sake. So, EFG, LeBron's higher. And I imagine that's the case for true scoring percentage as well. Yeah. So let's just go with true scoring percentage. I don't think we need to weight, because we already have field goal percentage, so we don't need to necessarily weight so many shooting percentages. So I'm going to take out turnover. Sorry, we're going to keep turnovers per minute, but we're only going to weight true shooting percentage for our quantitative score. Okay, so we're going to delete that, and we're going to have Kevin gets the 8. LeBron gets the 7. Kareem gets the 6. Michael gets the 5. Then Shaquille 4. Tim 3. Karl Malone is last. 2 and 1. Okay, so we have we've again compared 8 players, 8 of the highest scoring playoff performers. Okay, so this is all in Jordan's wheelhouse, and I think that's what people want to see. They want to see who are the best scorers throughout playoff history. That's who we have here, the 9 or the 8 best playoff scorers. We're comparing their entire career stats, playoffs and regular season. And we're weighting statistical categories. But we've given all the categories that Jordan leads in, we've weighted them at 2 times. So we're weighting points, scoring efficiency 2 times, and steals efficiency 2 times. Okay, didn't have to do that, but just to prove a point. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a summation here, and then we're just going to, oops, I'm going to go down. So based off this statistical analysis, where we've weighted Jordan's 2 stats stronger, he leads all players with 91 points. And then LeBron comes in second at 89, followed by Kareem, followed by Kevin Durant, followed by Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, Shaquille O'Neal, and Tim Duncan. Okay, so based off of quantitative analysis, now this isn't completely, it's not completely objective. Okay, we've weighted Jordan's statistics. We've given them a stronger weight. So scoring efficiency, we've essentially given him 8 additional points. Double the points that he could amass, which is 8 points, additional points. And we've done the same for the steals per efficiency. So just giving Jordan those advantages, he beats out LeBron by 2 points. Okay, and the rings also help. So he has 6 rings. That's probably the difference right there, right? He's got 2 more rings than LeBron, and he wins out by 2 points. So that's pretty much the math right there. Now, obviously, if we don't weight this double, for example, let's just go here, or just the smallest, we go 8 here, and then we just go all the way 7. We weight it like that. Same here. If we just give it times 1 rather than times 2, we don't weight Jordan's advantages, and we just do that, and we do a total score. LeBron James is on top by just a point. Okay, so there you go. Just based on a quantitative score, 2 players rise to the top. That's Michael Jordan. So we are taking into account rings. Okay, that has a we're just giving them that count. Each ring is a point, along with, again, comparative scores across all the statistical categories. And we didn't weight totals, because if we did weight totals, LeBron would be heads above everybody else, in terms of just statistical, the volume of each statistical category. So he leads in rebounds, he leads in assists, he leads in steals, just the pure number. So we didn't take into account any of those career numbers. Again, he leads Jordan in all of those. He's arguably, statistically, the better shooter. And where he lacks is like free throw percentage, and turnovers. He lacks in those specific categories. That's where Jordan, I think, you can make an argument that Jordan is a better stealer, steals to turnover ratio. Jordan definitely, statistically speaking, yeah, is in a class by himself, really. So there you have it. That's the analysis. And so I hope this helps you. Obviously, people are going to debate and give all the qualitative reasons why Jordan is better, and it's for you just to decide. But I think having the statistical, because if stats don't matter, why do we keep them? Stats do matter, right? It's literally the thing we look to a player's performance. We look to the stats to look at what a player did on the floor that night or over their career to help their team win. So from a statistical standpoint, you have to give LeBron props. He leads the league in so many, in terms of playoff categories. He leads the playoff category list. So if anything, LeBron is one of the greatest playoff performers in history. He's the greatest playoff performer in history in terms of points, rebounds, assists, and all those stats. Where you can get into debate is he the best? Is he the best champion? He's got 4 rings. Still not done with his career. Still not over. But there's that debate. Jordan won all 6 with one team. People think that's some kind of accomplishment. Although I think if he is really the greatest, he could have gone to the Wizards, any team, right, and helped them win. So why didn't he go to the Wizards and lead them to playoffs every year? He was there, 3 seasons? Didn't do anything with the Wizards. In fact, his last season, he retired. The Wizards ended up in a losing season. His last game didn't mean anything. I think he scored right around his points per game average, but they didn't go anywhere. They didn't go to the postseason. So, whereas LeBron took Cleveland, completely different team, won a ring with them, went to Miami, albeit it's a great team that he went to, but he was a big part of that. Won in Miami, and then won with LA. Got to the finals this past season as well. Just didn't have an opportunity there. Denver was the better team. But again, LeBron's not done yet. And even if LeBron were to retire, let's say that finals game is LeBron's last game. Okay. LeBron was in the finals, and you could say the finals was his last game. Whereas Jordan, you know, can 40, LeBron's 40, some 41 or 42 right now. Both players in their 40s, they're to go out. Jordan goes out, losing season, meaningless game. LeBron would go out in a finals in a final series. So just some things to keep in mind in that qualitative debate. Um, like people who think doing it with one team is somehow more significant than doing it with three doesn't understand team dynamics. Obviously, Jordan had the better team. I think the the '90s Bulls is arguably the best team in history, and Jordan was the best scorer, probably player on that team. Um, but again, we're talking about the greatest of all time, okay? Not the greatest team of all time. We're talking about the greatest player of all time. So you really got to look beyond finals and finals performances. You got to look at the whole body of work. And given our quantitative analysis here, uh, definitely Jordan. Uh, I think you can make an argument, even a quantitative analysis, you can see how close they are. So, um, purely statistically speaking, though, purely statistically speaking, LeBron is the better player, okay, from a pure statistical, quantitative, analytical standpoint. But when you weight things like rings, and you weight things like that, people, I think, give more preference to, like scoring, like points and scoring. Um, it gets closer. Michael Jordan's definitely there. And again, these are all efficiencies. They're not. We didn't weight, the statistical advantage that LeBron has in terms of more games played in the playoffs, more, rebounds, points, steals, assists uh, in a playoff career than anybody in history. Okay, so that's the analysis. So just going back to the playoff thing here, I'm going to go look at playoff points. Okay. Just to give you perspective, 8,000 playoff points versus 5,900 playoff points. Uh, higher, again, higher shooting percentage, higher 3-point percentage, lower free throw percentage, lower scoring efficiency, higher rebounds, rebounds per minute. So higher, basically rebounds, assists, steals. He's got higher efficiencies and totals than Jordan. Blocks as well, sorry. Rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. He's got higher totals. Efficiency wise and efficiencies. Efficiency wise, steals, he's got lower than Jordan, a higher block efficiency. And then turnovers, Jordan has less, and a lower turnover efficiency rating. So I should say higher efficiency with regards to turning the ball over. But yeah, shooter, in terms of percentages and all that, LeBron's the better shooter. Okay. He's a better shooter than Kobe and Michael. So I think if anything, I've revealed anything, it's to, a lot of people are going to be armed with just sort of their couch armchair knowledge of like statistics without really looking at uh, the numbers. Um, but yeah, if anybody spouts to you, hey, Jordan and Kobe are the best shooters in NBA history, that's far from the truth. They take a lot of shots because they have the ball. They're often looked to for scoring. So, but in terms of it's not helping their percentages. They're not efficient in terms of shooting. So yeah, going back to our score, we're gonna weight these again as they were meant to be. Okay. Just gonna weight it like that. Whoops. To give you steals as well. We're gonna weight Jordan. Just weight his stats a little higher. And what we get is this is our final score. I'm just gonna blow it up so you guys can see. There's our final score. Quantitative score. These are the top players, the greatest players of all time. Just balanced. We're talking about scoring and all the statistical categories and efficiencies and championship. So we're weighting rings and all that based off this analysis. Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, and Karl Malone, and Kevin Durant, Tim Duncan, Kareem, and Shaquille. These are your top players of all time. All right, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, that GOAT debate is a good one to have, and I think I'll end with this. Like I said, Michael Jordan came at a time when the league was growing. He did more for the league than any other player in history, and probably ever will. But if that's the case, then you're making the argument that Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time for infinity. There can never be another player to achieve and do what Michael did, right? You're essentially ending the GOAT debate by saying there can never be anybody greater than Michael Jordan. I guess if someone came along with a 30-point scoring average and 7 rings with the same team, the same standards they used for Michael, if someone came along and did that, that would warrant the change of guard. But think about why everybody. So think about who you're hearing the greatest of all time. Where are you hearing this verbiage? Think about that, okay? You're hearing it from ESPN. You're hearing it from all these former NBA players who played with Jordan. So greats like Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, Allen Iverson, right? They're all saying they're tuning into the debate by giving their explicit bias, right? They played with the man. Actually, Allen Iverson was sort of on the tail end of Michael's career, but either way, they all acknowledge how great LeBron is and how great Michael is, but they give the edge to Michael, right? Because of all these qualitative variables, okay? They're also saying it on television. And what comes on after they talking to the camera? A Nike commercial, a Gatorade commercial, and the NBA commercials. So they're part of this industry, the marketing machine, because Michael Jordan still sells sneakers, okay? Let's not forget that. He's still a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar brand, which LeBron is just a portion of. Okay, so I recognize Michael built that entire house. So when you build that entire house, that house is going to talk about the guy who made all that happen. So don't get caught up in all that marketing hype. Okay. If you are, you are. If you already are, and you bought into it, and there's nothing anybody else can say, and you will die. But we're all gonna die. When Michael Jordan dies, that's gonna be a big event, right? And they're gonna talk about how great he is. We're all gonna kind of live in that marketing because he really is. He's he's. I would say he's 70% player, 30% marketing hype. Okay, that's just my biased opinion as well. I'm biased as well. But what I'm saying is, um, given all that, if you're listening to the rhetoric coming out of the industry, yeah, they don't want. LeBron just disrupted the entire league by putting up these ridiculous numbers, having a career that spans, almost 2 decades, and he's still going strong. Okay, so he's made the argument for GOAT, a legitimate argument, which I've shown here today. But again, that's people view GOAT differently. They all have a different definition of what GOAT is. Just keep in mind what you think your GOAT is, and don't let it be an echo of what you like. I get sick of people like sharing, like Charles Barkley or Allen Iverson spouting on about how great Michael Jordan was, right? Like, we get it. He had a whole friggin' documentary made about his run. And the guy had the guy the guy took a year off, and then he played baseball for a season or two, and then came back and won 3 more titles. We get it. It's a great story, right? He was the center of attention on the Olympics team, on that Bulls runs team. Just he was the man. No one's denying that. That's a big shadow to really come out of if you're LeBron James or anybody. But let's not diminish what LeBron has done. Let's give him his due. Okay, in this debate, like, yeah, you don't have to agree he's the greatest of all time. You can look at flaws in his game, but at the end of the day, the guy's a champion. The guy has the stats to back up the goat argument, and he's still going strong. So his career is not over. And at some point, when the media starts to, and you're already hearing echoes of it, but when the media starts to really buy into that LeBron's has the better career, better just overall career. Let's say LeBron wins a 5th title, which I'm sure if he's going to come back, they get rid of Austin Reeves, and they bring in a true, like a true shooting guard. Um, Man, that team's scary. But yeah, it's not over. The debate's not over. Debate is raging, but I think Jordan, again, we've shown Jordan has an advantage. Jordan is, for the most part, most people's greatest player of all time. And again, I'm not going to reveal my pick for who I think is the greatest of all time, but they are on this list. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. All right. If you really want to pick my brain and get the answer, send me some comics, and I'll tell you. Send me some Jim Lee comics, and you'll get an exclusive who Boren thinks is who Otaku thinks is the best of all time. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.